Let's review the film with Andrew Krammer. Gave him a few hours sleep before I bugged him to look it all back on. We're doing this on Monday morning. It's coming to you a little bit later. Andrew, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Yeah, Vikings 6-2 got up early enough to at least watch back part of that game, but it's still fresh in my mind, certainly.
Okay, well, we're gonna check out the film. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna give you my 3 hot takeaways first
Let's do it.
before we get to that. Number one, I think Kevin O'Connell likes the way Sam Darnold plays more than he liked the way Kirk Cousins played.
Oh, that's typically spicier than you get. No, I disagree with that, but please elaborate. Like, what do you mean by that?
I think he keeps saying that Darnold is playing well because he's taking chances. And the thing he had to convince Kirk Cousins to do all the time that drove him crazy was that Kirk wouldn't take enough chances. And I think KOC is more willing to live with the consequences of those risks and rewards than other coaches might be. I think he likes the way Darnold plays the position more than he liked the way Cousins played the position.
I see where you're going with that. I would say no, just because what I think coaches and O'Connell included prefer is the baker, to use the anecdote of the chef versus the baker, the guy who's going to follow the recipe toe for toe, line for line, and get the ball exactly where it needs to be on time when it needs to be delivered. And Sam Darnold is much more of an inconsistent guy right now. And I think what they're trying to do with Sam is toe the line between him being too conservative and not giving chances to the playmakers downfield, while also not wanting him to be the turnover machine that he was with the Jets and the Panthers, where he was taking too many chances and playing hero ball. It's a fine line. And I think when he turns the ball over like he's done, you might see the line shift this week to, well, check it down a bit more. And then if he checks it down too much, they're going to push him and say, no, we want to be aggressive and push the ball downfield more. I see what you're saying. I think the frustration with Kirk was always the risk aversion. It was, yes, that he wouldn't take chances sometimes and throw past the sticks. And they kind of had to will him more. But at the same time, he was much more of that game manager, Kirk Cousins was, than Sam Darnold is trying to aspire to be at this point. So I think O'Connell appreciated everything Kirk was. The breadth and of knowledge that Kirk had, that everything you could do with him. They have to be a lot more simplistic. They have to be a lot more clear and concise with Sam Darnold to get what they're getting out of him. This is requiring much more hands-on coaching. Whereas with Kirk, it was much more of that kind of, well, let's jump around the graduate studies and see what kind of fun stuff we can do this week. I just think it's so worldly different right now with Darnold, and they are having to manage him more, manage his psyche, manage the plays, manage the reads than they did with Kirk. I do get the point, though, of the aggression, because Kevin O'Connell said it last night. He said, we think that is an edge for us, being aggressive with Sam Darnold and this offense. He would have said the same thing about Kirk Cousins and that offense. What he's talking about, I think, reading between the lines, is the playmakers. It's Jefferson, it's Hawkinson, it's Addison. You're not going to win unless you're forcing the ball at times to those guys to make them win their one-on-one matchups. So I think some of it's just managing Darnold, but I do think that their aggression is trying to make sure Sam doesn't overplay the game manager stuff that, frankly, they've been preaching to him all off season. He came here from San Francisco saying, I learned how to manage games. I learned how to win. And the Vikings know they play good defense. So they're trying to tell him to be that game manager. At the same time, don't anger Jordan Addison by not throwing him the ball. Don't anger Justin Jefferson by not throwing him the ball. Please be aggressive.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think those are good points. I don't know if maybe I wouldn't go so far to say as he likes Sam Darnold, the quarterback, more than he liked Kirk Cousins, the quarterback. I just think he likes the way Darnold plays. The style of quarterback. He would rather have someone with a big arm who is a little bit more on the risk side than a guy who is a little bit more on the not risk side.
Yeah, the big arm part, I would totally agree with you on there. I just think coaches are so risk averse. They're always going to be like, give me the guy who makes the right play 100% of the time that I drew up in the dirt.
I think O'Connell's less risk averse than a lot of coaches. He just seems that way to me. But maybe Darnold's doing a lot more freelancing than we know, and he's taking more chances than KOC would really care for.
Yeah, and look, when he threw that first interception in the end zone, all of us are in the press box being like, "What are you doing? You threw it right to the guy." And after the game, O'Connell didn't say, "Don't throw that." He just said, "Just aim it a little higher." So,
Yeah.
and that was a spot where Hawkinson was well covered. Like the guy,
Yes, that
it
was a
seemed
bad
like
throw.
the ball
Yes.
was thrown right to him. And yeah, that to your point, Mike, the head coach is saying, just aim that a little bit higher next time.
Staying with Darnold for hot takeaway number 2, Sam Darnold is having a much better season than Jordan Love.
Yeah, well, right now, absolutely. Yes. I
Yes.
don't think that's too hot of a take because the health is why for Love. And also when Love has been out there, yeah, he's made some bad decisions. He loses the game. I'm thinking that I think it was the Philadelphia game. He made some backbreaking decisions in the opener. Some of the other games he's been healthy for, there's been throws he's had to answer for after the fact. I just can't go game by game and remember exactly. But Sam Darnold has been at least available for his team. And on Sunday night, when he's been at his best, like on Sunday night in the red zone, he's throwing touchdowns. Now, he had more mistakes this time than you would have liked. The
Yes.
Vikings are obviously arguing that Sam Darnold's strip sack should probably be taken off the board by a penalty that was picked up. But it still happened, and that's still a mistake that you at least need to hold on to the football. He throws 2 interceptions that were pretty, bad decisions or certainly bad throws at the very least. But all in all, I would agree with you. I think because he's been available, been out there, this offense has kept them, or at least for the most part, kept them in most of these games. So yeah, I would say yeah. But when Love is healthy, if he were fully healthy, it seems like he's pushing himself out there to play through injury. If he were fully healthy, I think Jordan Love is obviously the better quarterback.
I think that's true. I'm just saying Darnold's having a better year. More touchdown passes, fewer interceptions. Love's thrown 1 interception at least in all 7 starts this year. Had that terrible pick 6 against the Lions yesterday. Better QBR for Darnold right now. I thought it was strange that the Packers played Love yesterday. They must have thought he was okay enough to play, but a quarterback with a groin injury against a really good defense in a driving rain at Lambeau Field did not seem like the best conditions to try that.
Especially a quarterback who likes to take chances. Like you talk about an aggressive quarterback, that's Jordan Love. Jordan Love seems to have that blend of Rodgers where the mobility and the accuracy, but then the Favre of decision making where you're like, what are you doing? But yeah, he likes to get out and run. And if you have an injury like that, they got to manage it. And they decided not to do that.
Confirming one more thing, number 3, the Vikings should be working on an extension for Byron Murphy Jr. if they're not already. What are we waiting for? Get this guy signed. You got nothing else.
Yeah, if I'm Byron at this point, I'm saying, you know what? Let's hold off. I'm gonna continue to bet on
That's
myself.
true too. Yeah.
The price is going up. Yeah, he's got 3 interceptions. He's been playing fairly well for them. At times, missed tackles and open field play has been an issue for him, but it really hasn't been recently, which is to his credit. Yeah, they don't have corners really.
Nobody is signed for next year.
So
Mekhi
yeah,
Blackman. I mean, yeah, we're happy. It's great.
I think they need to make an aggressive move on him when he's willing to listen. And if that's not
Yeah.
till the end of the season, then do it right away at the end of January, whenever your season ends. Because, yeah, he's been a great addition for them. He's versatile. He does everything Brian Flores wants to do in terms of playing inside, playing outside. And he's also somebody that can disguise really, really well as a savvy veteran. You watch him. I watched him drop into a cover 2 against Joe Flacco, where Cam Bynum's selling the single high and then drops down into kind of the middle robber, the low alignment where he deflects a pass. It's stuff like that that's built off of Harrison Smith and Byron Murphy being able to sell something else and then drop deep. And you can't do that if a Caleb Evans is that corner. You can't do that necessarily if you just draft a kid and throw him in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been huge. And frankly, you started off with your hottest take on number 1,
did.
in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes. I went spiciest to mildest, I guess, in this case, but might as well shoot your shot right away.